Right, number 12, it gives you a vector, -3, 1. Find the component form, the polar form, and the unit vector in the same direction. All right, now the component form, we talked about this yesterday. The component form is where you have the x, I plus y, j. So for this case, it will be -3 I plus j. Don't put the 1 there. Okay, just put on j. -3 I plus j. That would be your component form. Now, for your polar form, well, the x would now become r cosine theta I. The y becomes r sine theta. Then put on a j. So that means you would need to know the length of this vector and also the degree. Right, so it'll be much better off that we can draw out the vector. So -3, 1, so it would be something like this. So this would be your theta. Okay, this will be your theta. So this is -3. That's 1 right here. Okay, so what you can do is to find out this little angle right here. Let's call it theta prime, and then you can subtract from 180 to find out what it is. So I would say tangent of tangent theta prime, it's equal to 1/3. Now I'm not gonna put the negative here because I'm just looking at this little triangle. I want to find out what angle theta prime is. So I'll go to my calculator and find out what my theta prime is. So tangent inverse of 1/3 is 18.435. 18.435 degrees. So my theta would be 180 degrees minus 18.435 degrees. And that should give you 161.565 degrees. Okay, so that's my theta. And for the magnitude of V, well, that's a lot easier. It's just square root of 3 squared plus 1 square, which is square root of 10. So for the polar form, it's going to be root 10 cosine of 161.565 degrees I plus square root of 10 cosine of 161, I'm sorry, sine, not cosine. Sine of 161.565 degrees J. That would be our polar form. And for the unit vector would be, it's going to be a fraction. It's going to be the x components and y component, the x and y on the at the numerator, and the magnitude in the denominator. Okay, so that's a unit vector, and please make sure that you need to rationalize it. So so that should give you this as your final reading of your unit vector. Okay, so, and as I said, I think some terminology is very important here in this case. We seen a few terms already. Direction vector, meaning the bare bracket vector, how many units going left and right, up and down. Then you have component form, polar form, unit vector. So you got to ask yourself, do you know how to express the vectors in these forms.